to that Vex potential matchup with Enyx. You've got pure gun skill versus a nice blend of gun skill and tactics. But I've got to be honest, Enyx are the team to beat.
Yeah.
We go, ladies and gentlemen, into the grand final of the first ever Rainbow Six Siege ESL Premiership. Clubhouse awaits us. Team Enyx and 1UPeSport awaits us. We know who's favoured, we know who's got a lot to do. We've told you how they're going to tackle this thing to win it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised here. Ela for Kimbe straight away. Give him something that he's comfortable with.
Let's do this then, ladies and gentlemen. The church and the Arsenal room is where our grand final will begin. One of these teams will be the first ever Rainbow Six Siege ESL Premiership champion.
Thank you very much, Matt. And we are on to our first map. It is a basement defense. And we are going to see Enyx running with, look at this, the Dockerbee. Something that were the only team to bring Dockerbee to the table. It was very influential in their clubhouse win. And for those of you that haven't seen Dockerbee before demo, explain why this has worked out for Enyx.
Essentially, the strategy that Enyx do try to apply to the defending team is that Clubhouse, it's primarily about the drop hatches. That's the main way that attackers are going to get into the bomb sites, and then having Dockerbee transmit a sound virus to the enemy team's phones, which then does give off that buzzing sound, which will alert the attacking team to the positions of the defending team. And speaking to Enyx, they say that Dockerbee is one of the big players, the big operators that they need to take to make this attack successful.
Yeah, and they talked about how much they relied on Dockerbee and what it provides, and exactly what you just said there, Demo. Incredibly important. And for a team like Enyx to say that they rely so heavily on this particular operator, you know that it means that much for them to make it work. 1UP, however, they're bringing the Legion, something that we talked about, you know, especially Willow gave us the insight that not only does Legion slow down something like a Blitz, but it slows down planting when put in the right scenarios, and especially in an enclosed space like the basement of Clubhouse, you can get some incredible sort of denials on plant with the Legion here.
Especially whenever Clubhouse is a map where it's very slow in the beginning. It starts off droning phase, Buck starts coming in, hatches. And then we do not see people dying until about the minute mark, which, you know, that usually doesn't happen in maps. But for Clubhouse, you know, there's never going to be any roamers on the defending side. They all have to sit, and that's where Legion traps could come in pretty big, especially whenever, you know, you've Blitz in the Twitch trying to push down that blue tunnel. It could be a Legion mine there, ready to stop in his tracks during, you know, the 20-second mark, just delays everything. The main thing that Enyx need to do is get rid of Mop.
And Mop already picks up the first kill. That's a great start for 1UP. Dockerbee down, the influential operator that Enyx talked about, especially in those last 45 seconds. And they're going to lose another one. Mac, not actually downed completely, but will go down and be revived by his teammates, so should get back into the action. But losing Dockerbee might be very influential here. The Buck is opening up above Kitchen, so they are getting some angles. But 1UP, I mean, we needed them to come out firing, come out shooting, and they are definitely starting off on the right foot.
There was an early pick for 1UP. Again, that key operator that the Enyx needed to stay alive was dead within, you know, the 1 minute 30 mark, and this is where time's just going to start ticking down. 1UP just holding strong. No members are on extremely low health. They don't have any Mira, so again, that Memorial main stairs could be an option for Enyx if they choose to. I don't expect it. We're going to see the kill. That's going to be for Blitz, but they equally trade out two trades as Kizza gets killed. So does Negman, and it's going to be the drop, and that is going to be the first round going in the way of 1UP.
That is 1UP taking the first round from Enyx. Enyx, who was so confident on attack here on a map that you talked about being so attack favored as well. The defense to getting off the good start is really good for 1UP, and Enyx, they actually did have a fairly slow start yesterday when they were starting up, and they need to sort of bring things back around now. Christ, this is a great start for 1UP. Absolutely fantastic for them, and it shows that all of them seem to be coming out on the right start. Not being slow, Kimbe seems to be settled, that they are used to the stage now. Enyx have got a fight on their hands.
Will be Team Enyx's defense. I would say that they need to take this defensive round to, you know, keep up the round total. They cannot be letting 1UP get an early lead. They need to keep it as close as they can. 1UP are going to be taking a Blitz to the table, but equally Enyx do have the counter in the form of a Legion. We talk about how we have seen so much Legion during this week, and you know, it really has surprised me how much we have seen. And it would be because of this buff that did happen, the Blitz, and that's why we're seeing him so much.
Yeah, and Blitz, funnily enough, is making its first appearance for 1UP here in the entire day. We saw no Blitz on the previous third, fourth place match, and Blitz is now finally making his way back on with that 2 speed buff. He did get a reduction to medium armor as well, so a 2-2 now for Blitz. And we talked to Havocs about him, you know, he hates playing against it, and that's why Legion has kind of been seeing some increase in play, because it's so easy for Blitz to get right into the specific scenario that he wants to be in, and Legion kind of slows that down ever so slightly and gives the defending team time to react at the very least.
Kimbe will be taking the IQ to play with. I'd imagine that's going to be to counter the Pulse in at the back of Armory. Pulse, one of the best operators for Clubhouse, as he can provide so much information with that cardiac scanner. From that armor, you can give intel in the kitchen, inside the freezer, over towards the construction tunnel, towards that main corridor, towards the bar area, towards the main stairs. So much intel gathering you can get with that Pulse. And I'm sure Mop will be picked up very quickly on that cardiac scanner, but I believe they're going to try and implement a construction push. Interesting.
Construction push, and Blitz will be the breaching hammer for this, just trying to make his way down, provide that protection, and feed the information in terms of defensive locations. Enyx look like they're set up for this, but they will see Blitz walk around and, oh, get a tag on his arm there. Blitz takes a little bit of damage. Here comes the flash as well. He's going to start to push in, and already trying to put pressure on this Enyx lineup. He's moving forward, still going. Oh no, he's got stuck. I think he's going to get one down. Mop, the Blitz Master, still moving in. And that is Madman going down. Madman just seemed to get stuck on the wall there. And Mop has picked up a very influential pickup. He's going to reset and move around the corner. Oh, some shots come through, but that is an escape coming through for Enyx there as well. Mop showed he can play Blitz at a very high standard. Tries to get a tag, does get a tag, and Greedy Willow actually finishes up onto Blitz as well. So 1UP in a really good scenario. Luckily, Mac gets a C4 trade.
Willow is also going to be downed inside. I believe it's going to be the kitchen area. Interestingly enough about Mop getting that kill, there was 2 goo mines inside that construction tunnel, but neither of them landed onto him. That was the main reason why they had 2 in there. They had, of course, the Legion inside there, and he just walked past them.
Here we go, 1UP with 45 seconds to go. There's still a good defense there. Mirror is around, Pulse is there too, so you can keep tabs on this information. But with IQ around, they'll know where Pulse is as well, so they're kind of countering each other out in that respect. Jaeger still available too. 1UP are going to start to make their move through, with Blitz trying to find that spearhead into the Arsenal room. Oh, wait a second. Kizza picks up one. That's a great pickup. The stalwart player of 1UP has managed to pick up, I think that's Blitz going down there, so now it's just the Mirror and the Pulse. Hibana is going to set up Kizza, who had performed so well on Hibana previously, as Mop actually goes down at this point. They are going to get the return kill, and it's simply going to be Pulse versus the rest of the 1UP lineup. He gets taken down, Kizza gets the kill, and here we go. We have a series already opening up, Demo.
Looking extremely impressive for 1UP. Mop, you cannot contain this guy on his Blitz play. By far the best Blitz in the league. Even he was doing this before Blitz even got that 2-speed buff. You know, he's coming in big already, starting off strong. We didn't see that from Mop, and this is where 1UP are starting to look extremely terrifying for Enyx.
Enyx have got to shore the ship a little bit here. Havocs was saying just this morning when we were talking to him, just this early afternoon, he's saying we need to make sure that we are 100% focused. I need to shore the lads up, especially when we're having a hard time on Consulate. It looks like they're going to have a similar situation here as 1UP take the 2-0 lead to begin with.
We will be moving into our first bar and stock room, and I am a little bit worried for 1UP with their operator selection. This is where 1UP, they don't bring the smoke in this circumstance. Instead, they want to bring the castle. They do try and hold guards, however, but if everybody's seen yesterday on Clubhouse, Enyx go for their Montagne push where they completely just storm in through the stock, and not having that smoke capability, it should be just a quick walk-in for Enyx. You know, don't have to worry about getting stalled out from Kizza, of course, in the smoke, because he's not going to be taking it to the field. But, you know, this little bit of a hold inside the garage, and then, you know, they have a little bit of protection inside the cash room, but it's only going to be one guy. And, you know, the way Enyx do coordinate their pushes, they should be able to deal with him.
So Enyx need this. This is a strategy that really they're the only team to run it efficiently, I think, from what I've seen throughout the Premiership. And this stockroom push is one of Madman's specialities as well, as he gets some information here. Montagne, again, so good at just pushing in and being that shield that is impenetrable, providing almost what Blitz does, but with less offensive capabilities.
This will be interesting to see how Enyx do work on their feet. This is something that they usually do not come across, is a team holding garage and also trying to attempt to hold cash room. So it's something that they haven't came across, I would say, because nearly every time they have just walked through with no real counter strat to worry about. But 1UP have done the research. They know that for a barn stock, Enyx always go for their Montagne strategy, of course. So it's good to see that 1UP have done their research. But can Enyx, adapt to this situation and actually, physically get in there and start challenging Mop? Because remember, he's only going to be by himself. Well, I say that, we do see somebody creeping on them back cash stairs, and they're actually going to send the Montagne in to gain intel.
Really interesting. This is a slower start. You see for Enyx, they're not going straight for that strategy. Proyo is going to spy out some of the members here, and that's going to be at least some intel gathered, and that's going to be a tag, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as Havoc goes down, but Blitz gets Kizza in return. And 1-for-1 right now, but Kizza going down is pretty important for 1UP. He's an influential member, like we've talked about. Mop took a bit of damage on that trade too. Now Enyx have got to begin their push. They've got to start to make this happen. Plant behind Montagne, go through that stock room, and here we go. Here goes Madman.
Equally, Enyx have lost their Ying on their side, so they don't have that same capability of just moving in with the smoke grenades, with the Candelas, and simply going for the plant. Pro is going to be upstairs with the fusion. Enigma gets a kill. That is going to be Havana down there. Going to be Kembe getting a kill in onto Ash. Last two members up is going to be Pro and Madman. A shield and a fuse to...
there we go,
Kembe. And there we go. What can you say? What can you say?
They are coming out at the right speed, and that is exactly what 1UP needed. Enyx, they are left flabbergasted. That stock room play that always seems to work out for them. What went wrong? Like we talked about that this should be a simple stock room push for them. What changed their usual strategy?
At that time, they did really try and force their way in towards Garage.
Yeah.
Garage is a hard place to attack because there is only going to be one doorway that you can push in from. If I was Enyx, why would you not use your free speed to rotate over towards where the bedroom is and go over towards them cash room windows, then try and get some angles from that area? Because Mop wasn't sitting in there; he was primarily sitting inside the garage. And then once you do have control of cash room, that's a simple peek through the impact hole, and it's a dead Mop. So Enyx, they need to work about what angles they can use and abuse against 1UP for their strategies. And I would say that Enyx aren't droning as much as possibly they should.
Yeah, and we talked about Havoc's. He is the drone master. He talks about how much information he feeds to his team, and Enyx just not seemingly getting the information that they want from these pushes. Vigil coming out this time round. They're also going to bring an Echo to the table, so slightly changing things up here for their own stock room bar defense.
It is interesting to see that they are going to be going for the bar stock room rather than downstairs. Because remember, they still had downstairs open. They didn't win it. But this, Enyx, we've seen them do this strategy where they do have the Vigil upstairs and they have that little bit of a reinforcement. They don't reinforce the hatch because potentially could use that against 1UP in these situations. Already, we do see the Blitz going chunk through the map, and I would imagine he's going to be looking to push out these roamers, as Mop is a very capable bully. Blitz trying to pressure all these roamers. We've seen different support blitzes, such as Fabia early on in yesterday's game. He was more of that kind of human drone, as Mop just wants to go for the kills.
Yeah, Mop we saw got a 4K on the bop and on the Blitz and almost cleaned up the entire squad. It was only Capone that stopped him right at the end, so we know what Mop is capable of on this particular operator. And here we go. 1UP also brought the IQ at the right time, by the way, because Vigil coming through means they're going to get some countering ability there. And Mop's beginning his push in.
That has forced Madman to run away as soon as you hear the shield. You cannot contest with it, of course. The main thing about Blitz, it's, he only has a pistol, but the fact that he has that built-in flashbang effect, that's the edge that gives him over hunting roamers, of course. I'm just impressed to see how much Blitz we actually have seen, because he was an operator which was never picked for so long. And then all of a sudden, wherever he did get that buff, where he could hold his shield over his face, that has been the real game changer for him. It was such a simple buff. Yeah,
such a simple buff that's given him so much protection. Kizza took a bit of damage there on the Habana, but he's going to back off. Mop just looking for slow push down here. That's going to be the first kill. Kizza actually picks this up, and now Mop's going to move through. Look at this, the flashbang comes out. He's in the perfect position for it. He's going to slam him down. Mop gets the shield hit, and now he's going to go for the second. Oh, wait a second. Very, very close, but the shield holds true. And now Mop should be able to move forward again. The flashbang's coming out left, right, and center. Smack him on the head, boy. And Blitz showing exactly why he's an incredible operator right now. But actually, at the end of that, it's ended up being a 2 for 2. But you still have that Blitz in action.
Let's not forget the Fuser did get planted by Nigma. There is going to be the Claymore from Nigma at that strip club door.
And 2!
It is going to get that 2-piece and will be 1UP going. Match point. So quick.
Very quick. Look at that. Mop is undeniably one of the best blitzes that we have in this tournament. And he completely crushed and tore apart Enyx right there. Unbelievable. I mean, that was crazy. And now we're going into potentially a 5-0 map point on Clubhouse, which Enyx picked. And we talked about how strong they were. Enyx have now got to get a point on the board. They're going to bring the Dockerby back, but if Dockerby goes down again, I don't know what's going to happen. 1UP could potentially 5-0 Enyx on the first map.
This will be possibly the final round of Clubhouse so soon. We're only could possibly see 5 rounds off this map. Team Enyx are going to be pulling out a strategy which we did first see them pull off inside a week of the Premiership. I know this strat, what they are going to try and attempt it is simply almost what 1UP does, where they have Blitz running down that construction tunnel. He clears that out and he almost acts like, you know, that human drone standing at the doorway, getting all this intel. And once again, the Candels will be thrown in, Dokkaebi will be rung, and then they'll try and plant inside the kitchen area. You know, they have all the right components, but equally, it all comes down to see how 1UP do perform with some of their C4s. Looking at Nigma especially, he is the main guy who did got a lot of C4s yesterday as well. We're going to see if Enyx can almost recreate what 1UP did to them very early on in the first round.
The pressure's on Enyx, though. This is just uncharted territory for them. They do not often get 5-0'd.
No, I've never seen them get 5-0'd.
And that would be a great start for 1UP. I mean, maybe this confidence is just carried on from yesterday. I mean, it's not even just that Kimbe's performing, it's that everybody's performing. Everybody, and even Kiz on that Hibana on attack has been excellent as Enyx begin their assault. And Ying here for Havocs. Going to do some droning, needs to get some good information here. Very important that they scout out as much as they can. They don't have any way to really deal with the Vigil. No IQ on the side. Obviously, Dockerby can do a little bit, but here we go.
So at this stage, it's just the droning phase of this, you know, this first bit of droning that they have to do throughout the building. Mac is going to use his Hibana pellets to open up that dirt tunnel for Blitz to go down and start clearing out that tunnel, almost what Mop did in the first round. Madman is going to be picking up this buck. I remember yesterday he didn't do so hot on it inside the Clubhouse game. His shot wasn't looking too clean. Yeah,
maybe he was having that issue that a lot of players have been feeling with the buck right now, and Blitz is now moving, like you said, through that construction tunnel. Enyx Blitz playing Blitz. That'll get confusing.
Blitz.
Dropping some nades through. Adman's going to have to start opening up this kitchen, finding some angles. It's all pressure on Enyx. This is, like we said, an attack-favored map in the most case, and they're going to get the Vigil down. Proyo picking up a very important kill onto Kimbe. It's a good start for Enyx. We have seen reverse sweeps happen quite a lot during this championship, and that is going to be Mop getting a return kill, and it is the Dockerby going down again as such an influential operator for Enyx on their attacking strategy, and that is just down.
That is such a basic mistake from Enyx. You always need to have your Claymore being placed inside that garage ladder, as it is going to be one of the only ways for the roamers to go. Mop's going to go for the quick jump in through. That kitchen window gets one, but also gets splashed. In the meantime, that is going to be Madman getting the kill onto Willow, but this time Mop has full control of the top floor. Madman's going to get another one for himself. That's Nigma going to be dropped. 3v2, Blitz is going to start barging in towards that memorial room, and Kiz is also going to be joining Mop upstairs.
Oh, Kiz gets taken down, and Mop is now dropping through. Mop drops, gets one. It's 2 versus 1. Can Mop do this? It'll be a clean sweep for him if he can. This time they really are behind you, and it's not your teammates. So you've got to keep an eye on those angles, and Mop can see Blitz up there. Can he get the angle on Blitz? No, he can't. That was Madman behind him. Comes through, and suddenly Enyx are back on the table. Madman stepped up when he needed to. 3 kills for him on Buck. That is a point on the board for Enyx. Sometimes that's all you need to start getting your confidence rolling. And suddenly 1UP are like, we've been in this situation before. We've been at 4-1, we've had all of these map points, and we've thrown it away before. Can we keep our defense good? Can we make our attacks solid? Can we make sure that we just get that final map point?
If we take anything away from this weekend, it is anything can happen. You know, we've seen it all this weekend. We've seen just a straight clean sweep, reverse sweeps, you know, just very comfortable victories, 5-0s.
Yeah.
It could happen. It's very potential, you know, with Enyx and what they can do, of course. And let's not forget, we talked about yesterday, where if Enyx get momentum, you can't stop them.
No, but 1UP right now have most of that momentum, has just been shunted to the side by Enyx with a very, very good point on the board here on their attack. It is an attacking favored map in, you know, in most cases, like we've talked about before, and 1UP now have that potential. It is going to be another basement defense from Enyx, going to bring them nearer this time. They've got the Legion, the Pulse again.
Nothing out of the ordinary for the Enyx lineup. Just pretty standard. You have that intel with the Pulse. You of course, they're going to bring the Legion for the one and only Mop. Also, you know, 1UP there have the IQ, so you know they're countering each other. You know, they're bringing operators. They clearly know what each team brings to the table, and you know, it's smart thinking. The only thing which the difference between Enyx and 1UP for the basement is that 1UP, they don't decide to take the Mira as Enyx do. They like to have that little bit of control over the main stairs, over that memorial drop, of course. So yeah, it's gonna be good to see how now they prepare, knowing that they did lose the last round, and seeing what they're gonna counter with.
No early kills should be given away this round. When you lose an early member, it puts you at such a disadvantage. And Kimbe has been doing really well, I think, for 1UP in terms of getting some early frags on the board. Kizza as well has been fantastic on Hibana on attack, something that Froyo has got that heartbeat sensor out now.
Just feeding all of that intel. It could be a good option to actually stick him inside the construction tunnel, and then, you know, you have that visibility, knowing whenever Mop does decide to go for the push. Kizza just getting rid of ADS as well, so potential nade could be thrown in by Willow, or possibly Kimbe on the IQ as well. So forget IQ also has nades, which is always a handy gadget to have in for a map like Clubbies with a lot of, you know, drop patches, a lot of corners that you do have to try and frag out. Pro, he may be looking to go for this quick C4 onto the Hibana pellets if they do get launched on. That's another option you can do. Nade's going to go in, just scrapes them barely. And there's going to C4, he actually gets it! Pro, lucky timing, I must add, from that. Willow was free, and then Willow went back. Yeah, Willow went back there. He was a little bit slow. Blitz taking a lot of damage. Mop actually gets downed here. This is really important, because Mop going down means that they can take out a core component of this attack from 1UP. And he's going to peek him, he's going to see him, and Havix is going to get the shot down, and Enyx suddenly have made this very difficult for 1UP. Impressive from Enyx to go from a 0-4 performance as Havix picks up another one onto Kimbe. It is 2 versus 5. Nigma has done some magical things for 1UP, but I don't know how magical he can get. Not quite Gandalf. The way that Enyx are positioned, especially Madman inside that construction tunnel, completely shuts down anybody want to drop down through that kitchen hatch and eventually try and go for the plant spot, way at the back of the armory, of course. At this stage, both Kizza and Nigma are just they're basically waiting to die at this stage. You know, they're not going to be doing much in this location, just grouped up beside a hatch. And they even, like, you know, Madman, he went for the peak, but Nigma did shut him down, so good accuracy. Is this where the drop is going to go in? Kizza does
right next to him.
Do go in? Both of them are going to be inside the kitchen. That's going to be Nigma getting one, but automatically treated out by Pro. Last man up is going to be Kizza. We've known he can go for clutches. Does manage to tag, runs out of ammo, and his bearing has to switch to Type A9, and that is gonna be Havix on that Legion. Pick up the kill. Bit of a comeback for Enyx.
And Mountain one, they've still got to fight back 2 rounds where you have map point in favor of 1UP, and now 1UP. Well, I think 1UP are now in defense, so again, they've probably got the uphill battle just to win this round in the first place, and Enyx now coming back with full-fledged confidence. They had a slow start yesterday. They did get taken to overtime on their first map previously as well. They had to fight back on Consulate. And Dockerby coming through for Proyo. You don't want to see any crazy mistakes from Proyo this time around. We want to see Dockerby survive to that end game, because it is very important for Enyx's strategy for the most part.
Yeah, we haven't even seen her actually, you know, ring the phone yet. She hasn't been any impact, knowing, you know, we said that she was going to be that big operator, of course.
Smoke actually brought out by 1UP this time round.
Yeah, that's interesting. We didn't see that, and also Mira being picked up as well. Like we never seen these 2 operators. I believe we did see the Legion and Valkyrie being picked, but instead it will be Nigma going back to his Mira, which he's known for. He's not going to be playing the Valkyrie anymore, so it provides that more intel, more control over the main stairs. But still, that's not the area where Enyx want to push. It's all about the kitchen and construction tunnel.
Yeah, but maybe smoke coming through construction tunnel helps control the blitz.
Yeah, that's
so you know it's. You know, you smoke out that, you can control Blitz making his move through, and Blitz now with the reduced damage takes a little bit more damage, and suddenly things are a little bit shakier for him moving into those areas, so.
So let's see where Enyx will be clearing out first. We're expecting no roamers on Clubhouse. It's just not a viable map. There is going to be only one staircase to get back down into the bomb site, and also then the blue ladder, both of them which are easily cut off by attackers pushing in, of course. It'll be interesting to see when the Mac reworks do come in for Clubhouse, where you're going to see that connector between cash room and master bedroom, which will be, you know, make Clubhouse viable again for roamers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You see it's a very static defense. This is why you just don't see much action until the last minute of the round. As Greedy Willow picks up a first kill onto Mac. That's a big pickup for 1UP on the defense here. And that's Hibana going down as well, so that mirror window suddenly become a lot safer.
Seems to be that they are going to try and attempt to hold this kitchen area. They do have, you know, mirror window set up, but the only way that Enyx could honestly counter this strategy is if they do manage to take upstairs. So that means they have to go for a full-on top-down to sweep, and I do believe that 1UP do have members upstairs, and it's just going to be an actual quick rush. They know that there's going to be so much people upstairs in the top floor, and it's where Blitz is going to push in. He's so scary in this situation. Does get flashed on two, but automatically does get killed.
Oh, that's big, because Kimbe gets the kill there, and suddenly this rush might be going awry. Have to see as Proyo turns around, gets down, and suddenly Kizza gets the kill. Kizza coming out on the smoke big as Greedy Willow gets traded by Havocs. It is 2 versus 2, and now suddenly Madman needs to clutch this for his team on the buck. With 1 minute 26 to go, it looks like they've tried to reset. Havoc's on the Ying now, just clearing out some of this barbed wire. He knows that someone's there. Here goes the Candela. He's going to cook it. We're going to move forward. Here goes the flash. Can he find the kill? He spots him out. He knows where he is. Can he convert? No, he can't. He didn't convert. And now it's Madman in a 1 versus 2 with no health to keep Enyx in this map. Big rotation coming out here, Demo.
What a round. That is like the least thing we'd be expecting from Enyx in that situation. And at this stage, you would expect that 1UP should go on to take this map with Madman being on such low health. But at the end, it is Madman.
It is Madman. He can still do it. But with such little health, he's not given much room to breathe right now. And 43 seconds to go as well. He's trying to find the optimum place to drop down onto this bottom floor. Can't take a hatch easily at this point because a lot of them will be covered. Oh, he's got an angle. He's got an angle. He's going to get one. Can he get the second? He's evened this up. He's opening up the angles on this buck. I think he saw him. I think he knows where he is, but he peeks. And Kimbe versus Madman, the roam matchup that we wanted to see. Kimbe comes out on top to give the first map over to 1UP.
A map which I said it would favour the Enyx lineup after their performance yesterday.